Hi, my name is Asia. Welcome back to my channel. I'm gonna try to look at the camera. Okay, it's down here. Sorry, I forgot where the camera was. Anyway, so today I wanted to talk about depression. So I have my little notes, and I don't know if you can see, but I have my notes and everything written down that I wanted to talk about. It literally, okay, yeah, in there it looked like the pages were blank, but they're not. Anyway, so I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna title this video yet, or if you're watching this, what I titled it already. I don't know what I titled it yet, but so I wanted to talk about depression. Sorry if there's a lot of noise in the background. There's like the window is open and I can't control it. There's people outside acting however they're acting, so I'm gonna wait for that to pass. Okay, so depression. So people often make the assumption that if someone is depressed, they're always super down. They're just like always a downer, always sad, never really in a good mood, not good people to be around, but that's actually not true. So there's first of all, there's different types of depressions, and everybody handles their depression differently. And sometimes you could like not know if somebody has depression or not. So so people aren't always, I mean, yes, depression is sadness, is like a deep sadness, but it's so much more than that. So like, for an example, with me, I've had depression for almost more than half my life now, and most times people don't even know I'm depressed. Like if I had, let's say, a cube of ice, I say a cube of ice because I love ice, but if I had a cube of ice for every time somebody told me that I am always happy, or it's amazing how I'm always smiling, or I'm always so positive, it's inspiring, like I would never have to make or buy ice ever again. And if you know me, you know that I eat a lot of ice. I love ice so much. So basically, in this video, I wanted to shed some light on what depression is like. And depression is different for everyone. I think I said that already. But like, for an example, for me, I feel really sad. Like I feel like, okay, don't get me wrong, like I feel happiness sometimes, and I feel contentment sometimes, but for the most part I'm always sad. Like, and this probably isn't gonna make sense to you if you don't have depression, or if you've never dealt with anyone with depression, but like, even when I'm happy, I'm sad, if that makes sense. Like, but I experience real happiness. But when my depression comes around, it like convinces me that my happiness was never real. For me also, my depression has stages, and I think it's like this for a lot of people, because people that I know who are also depressed, their depression also has stages. So for me, sometimes my depression is, sorry if I keep looking up, I forget that the camera's down here. But for me, like, for an example, right now, I feel content. Like, I wouldn't say I'm happy. Like, I mean, there's like sadness lingering inside of me, but like I feel content, you know. I lost my train of thought. Oh, stages. Okay. So for me, sometimes my depression is like, it's chilling, and it, you know, is like, for an example, right now, like it's just chilling, you know. It's not really, I can't really figure out how to explain it. I actually wrote it down. I don't know if you could see. is backwards on here, but so I wrote, for me, my depression has stages. Sometimes it's chilling and it lets me enjoy myself, or if it's feeling really nice, it lets me enjoy the company of other people. Sometimes it nags at me, causing me to feel extremely anxious and or bothered. And sometimes it consumes me and leaves me no room or energy to do or feel anything. So I feel like I worded, like, I don't know if I said this before, but I'm so much better at expressing myself when I'm writing. Like, when I'm speaking, it's like so hard to communicate, I feel like, or to like express myself, let my thoughts out. Like, words don't just flow out of me when I'm speaking like it does when I'm writing, basically. Also, I realized that depression loves bad company. For an example, my depression, I feel like depression in general, I think for a lot of people it brings along other mental illnesses and stuff. So for an example, my depression brought along anxiety, PTSD. Well, actually, I think PTSD I probably would have had regardless of having depression or not. But also just bad thoughts in general. So like insecurities and a lot of just negativity it brings along with it. And my depression has caused me to lose a lot, but I mean I look at it as like, if I lost it, then it was never really mine to begin with, you know, because like I've lost friends because of it. And like, yeah, it was, I mean, at the time it was really heartbreaking, and like I didn't really understand why, but now I understand. Not everyone understands depression, and also back then I didn't really understand fully what I was going through either, so I was never going to be able to explain it to someone else. Depression can cause you to become antisocial. It could cause anxiety, overthinking, emotional and physical pain, feeling alone, insomnia, and like I said, losing friends. There are some signs to depression, but honestly not everyone shows signs, but some of this, and everyone's signs are also going to be different. But from my personal experience, the signs could be losing your appetite or eating too much, losing sleep or sleeping too much, losing motivation to do things that you enjoy doing normally, reckless behavior, social distancing before the coronavirus happened, like basically isolation, self-isolating. I think that's also a term that they now use for the coronavirus pandemic, but I'm pretty sure you get what I mean. It's the same thing, but from depression and not from the pandemic. It could cause numbness. I think I already said lack of motivation, but also like caring so much about other people's feelings, and like making sure, like if someone is like so concerned about like other people's mental health and stuff, that probably could be a sign that they themselves are struggling with some mental issues. Like for me personally, that's how I am. Like I worry so much about other people because I know how it is, and I don't want other people to go through the same things as that I go through. I don't think I mentioned, but this is also a big one. Comments or like comments about self-harm or suicide, or actually not comments but actual self-harm, and just like even if people joke about it, like that's probably a sign, because I know, like, I don't think I've ever joked about it, but I know some people do, like they make jokes and stuff, but it's really like a cry for help, or not really a cry for help, but like they're joking but they really mean it. People with depression also can appear to be normal, and they could appear to be really bubbly, really happy all the time. So you won't always know if someone has depression. Really social, appear to be really social, or they can be really social and or energetic people. For me personally, I think I've touched on this slightly, but for me personally, like, it's easier to try to blend in with everyone else, so to be happy and to smile, and also just it's also about wanting to bring joy to other people, because you never know what other people are going through. So me personally, a lot of people always tell me that I'm so happy, or I'm always so happy, or I'm always smiling and stuff. So I know that I appear to be that way on the outside, but on the inside I could not be doing well at all. But then it also depends on the stages of my depression, at whatever stage I'm at, because sometimes, like, I'm so exhausted and I feel so overwhelmed and so sad that I don't even have the energy to smile or appear to be happy, and I'm just like, take me as I am. But those times are normally the times people don't see, because I isolate and I stick to myself and I stay in my room and I don't really talk to anyone, so no one would really know unless they were around. I think I touched on this as well, like, I also worry so much about other people and what they're going through, because I don't, like, I know what it's like, so I don't want anyone else to experience that, if that makes sense. Of course, I know, like, I'm not stupid. Like, I know I can't stop everyone, or, like, I know I can't stop anyone from going through whatever mental issues they may be going through, but I just try to be the little bit of hope, I guess, or a little bit of light or happiness or joy or escape in someone's life. And also, that's what I hope I could do with this channel. Even I also plan to be open and real, so I'm not going to always be bubbly and happy and smiley, but I still do hope that I could be an escape for some of you people out there who may be dealing with depression, anxiety, any eating disorders, like, literally anything. Even if you don't have, like, any mental issues, like, I don't know, I just want to leave a positive mark on the world before I go. Also, like, I don't talk about, like, to this day, well, I've had conversations with my siblings more recently about my mental state, and because my siblings and I, well, not all of them, but some of my siblings and I, we have a lot of the same issues and stuff, so we talk about it and we're comfortable sharing our experiences and our thoughts and opinions and whatever we're going through with each other. But sometimes, honestly, it's still hard even to talk about it with people that you love and trust and won't judge you and understand. Just because, like, for me personally, like, well, I already said, like, I'm not really a verbal person or vocal, so, like, I don't really talk about it like that. But I mean, like, sometimes I do, but I'd rather not really talk about it. And I always use the excuse, like, I'm fine, or I'm okay, or I'm just tired, when I'm really, like, going through something, but I don't want to talk about it. Or a lot of times, like, if someone's asking me, like, oh, how are you doing, or what's bothering you, or whatever, I would always say, like, I don't know. People get really annoyed, but, like, it's really hard for me to open up about certain things and how certain things bother me, or what I'm going through, or how I'm feeling and stuff like that. There are levels to depression, so you have to understand that, and everybody experiences it differently and everyone handles it differently and stuff. And you definitely can experience happiness and contentment while you're depressed. Like, it's not like you're always sad. And like, for an example, if you have a friend or a sister or someone that's depressed and you have, like, happy moments with them, don't think that they're being fake because they're being happy. Like, depressed people can't experience happiness. It's just most times the sadness and the depression overwhelms everything else. So sometimes you forget that you felt happiness, or sometimes even within being happy, you still feel sad. Last but not least, depressed people are not fake. They just a lot of times don't like to talk about what they're going through, so it's easier to pretend to be happy than it is to explain what's wrong with you. And sometimes, honestly, it's like it's even harder to explain what's wrong if you know that physically and like there's nothing wrong, like nothing happened to make you sad. It's just you're sad. So like sometimes people would say stuff like, "Oh, you have this and you have that. Like you have nothing to be depressed for." But like depression is so much more complex than that. So it's not like it doesn't matter. Like you could have literally everything in the world. You could have the best family and you could still be depressed. Even though I do think that your environment and like how you grew up, your upbringing and things that happened in your life can lead up to that. But I also think that there are like you can just be a depressed person. Like you could just have depression and not know why. And there could be no reason for it that people see or that you could understand, but like it's there and it's real. So of course, like I'm not a professional, like I'm not a therapist or a doctor or anything like that, but these are just my personal opinions and the way I see it from my personal experience from dealing with it myself and having family members that deal with it and stuff. So yeah, that is what depression is like. Also, I would like for you to comment 3 things that you are grateful for. And I would like to read all those comments and stuff, and maybe it would, I don't know, make me feel good. And what else? Also, if you have any suggestions or comments, or if you want to talk about anything, you could always comment down below, or you could follow me on my Instagram and DM me, and I will definitely DM you back. So yeah. Oh, my Instagram is at Peerless Weirdo. PeerlessWeirdo. Yes, that's my Instagram, and that's it for now. I hope you all, I'm sorry, I'm looking like all over the place in this video, but I hope you bear with me, and I hope you all have an amazing day or night or whatever. And yeah, DM me definitely, because I want internet friends. Okay, bye.